What's up, guys? Best Man here again. Welcome back to my channel, the Best Man Academy. This is where we talk about everything regarding graduate admission process in the United States and how you can set yourself up for funding. Okay, so in order not to miss a thing, please subscribe, share this channel with your friends and family, and don't forget to hit like and also hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. Today what I'm going to do is talk to you about my personal journey to the United States. So I'm going to explain how I got started with the graduate admission process, how it has been so far, and also what are the challenges that I have faced and how you can navigate those challenges to make life better for yourself. And also I'm going to tell you explain the reason why I started this channel, which essentially is because of you, the viewer. So let's get started. So my name is Babajide Ojo, and friends call me Best Man, and the name Best Man goes way back to my undergraduate years. The reason for the name is not important right now. That's a story for another day. I was born in Lagos, Nigeria, but my dad was from Ikoro, Ekiti. So it's a small town in a state called Ekiti State in Nigeria. It's also a small state, one of the smaller states in Nigeria. So I essentially come from a very small state. And I lived most of my life in Ekiti State as well. So I come from a family of 7. That means apart from my parents, I have 4 other siblings, and I am the last child of the family. Please don't say baby of the house. So my parents were civil servants. My dad worked in the ministry all his life, and also my mom was a high school teacher. So talking about my educational background, so I went to public schools all my life. My high school was in a small school as well called Eyomote Comprehensive High School in a small town in Ekiti, Nigeria then. So it's also a small town. And after my high school, I went to the main university that we have in Ekiti State at the time, which was University of Ado-Ekiti. I think now it has been renamed to Ekiti State University. So it's not one of the biggest universities in Nigeria, but it was what we could afford and what was available to us at the time. So I had some good experiences in the university in Nigeria. At least that's where I got my training. So it's part of my history. Without them, I wouldn't be where I am today, without my university and my high school. Now, how I got started with graduate education in the United States. So during my undergraduate days, so it's a custom that during your final year you would have a small research, a small project that you would have to conduct. And being in the science, so by the way, I studied biochemistry in my undergrad, and so back then we had to do a small research, and because of the lack of equipment, I wasn't really fulfilled with my research then, so I had to outsource most of my analysis. And then the results came back, and it was interesting. We had it published, and I was really happy that yes, now I'm an author, but I wasn't really fulfilled. I wanted to do more. I wanted to have that hands-on experience in research. That's why I was hell-bent on going for my graduate degree, and I knew I didn't want to do it, get a graduate degree in Nigeria because I wanted that, that hands-on experience. So I got started actually during my national service. So if you are not from Nigeria, you need to know that in Nigeria, after your undergraduate degree, there is this compulsory national service that you have to do for a whole year after your undergrad. So during this time, I went for my national service, and I got paid. We usually get a small stipend. So from my stipend, I was able to save up for a laptop, which was very, very helpful, in searching for information about graduate studies outside the United States, outside Nigeria, rather. So I got started to search for opportunities outside Nigeria, and to be frank, I was looking at opportunities in Europe, especially in Ukraine at the time. But sometime during this period, my dad passed away, and it was really tough. And so, because of that, I've had like an aunt in the United States for a long time. So after the whole burial of my dad and everything, she just called my mom and asked about the kids. So I guess my name was brought up. She asked about me, what I've been doing, and my mom just told her I'm serving the country, and yeah, I'm looking for opportunities to further my education. So my aunt was like, there are opportunities in the United States. I know of people who have been, came from Nigeria to study. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to have him contact one lady who happens to be my cousin. I didn't really even know that she was in the United States studying at the time. So that was how I got connected to my cousin who was studying here at the time. So essentially, my aunt and my cousin put me through the whole process, and I started gradually to learn the process and follow the requirements needed. So that's how I ended up studying in the United States. I'm indebted to them for that. So if you think you can't do it, well, it's up to you. And if you think you can do it, and I'm happy to say you can, I'm happy to encourage you to learn the process and start working through the process. I've been blessed to be here today, which is why I'm trying to encourage young folks out there that no matter where you come from, if you have the vision, you can attain whatever educational level you want to attain, regardless of your status. So if you are thinking of coming to the United States for your graduate studies, it is totally not impossible. I don't care where you are from. I don't care what you are going through right now. If only you will follow some certain steps that I'm going to lay out on this channel, you are definitely going to be on your way to success. Okay? So that's that about my journey and how I got started. So let's talk about my journey so far in the United States. I've had way more positives than negatives. I must say that up front. So I got here in spring 2014 to study for a master's in nutritional science. So like I said, I studied biochemistry in undergrad, and I wanted to further in nutritional biochemistry because that was what I was interested in due to my the research I did in my undergraduate degree. So I wanted to do more in nutritional biochemistry, which is why I ended up in the nutrition department in the United States. And since how I got here, I have been so blessed. So I finished my master's in 2015 summer and started my PhD in the fall of 2015. And God willing, I should be done with my PhD this semester. Like I said, I have been so blessed since I got to Oklahoma State University for my graduate degree. I've received extensive training in nutritional biochemistry, nutrition and the microbiome, and the gut microbiome especially, and also in nutrition and immunity. I've had several opportunities to improve on my teaching skills, and also I've had several opportunities to serve in various volunteer positions. And also, one thing that I find really interesting here in Oklahoma, the state where I am, is that the people in Oklahoma here are mostly white, and they are the nicest people I have ever met in my life. So they are so nice. I'm so blessed to be in Oklahoma, to be among these people, to be learning among them. Um, it's such a blessing. So that's one of the positives. You need to consider where where you're going to study, not just the campus but the people in the city. And apart from these positives, I I find it interesting uh, that everything you get here, whatever you get here is what you deserve. So everything here is based on merit, regardless of your status. Doesn't matter if you're an international student, if everyone qualifies to enter a competition, everything is based on merit. I mean, I said that because that's obviously not what I've been used to all my life. I'm just going to stop there. But I really appreciated that when I got to OSU. Apart from this, I have had several opportunities to experience various cultures because at graduate level here in Oklahoma State University, and I imagine in other graduate colleges in other schools as well, that you would have a lot of international students. So the same thing here in OSU, we have a lot of international students, so we get to experience various cultures in during various events that are organized by the international student societies present on campus. So I've been blessed to meet a lot of people from various countries, and I'm looking forward to visiting these countries when I eventually settle down. um, Apart from that, I've like I said, I've been so blessed, and I can say I've worked so hard to achieve this, and I've been rewarded with several scholarships and award, a lot of them. If you want to see the full uh, list of my awards or my scholarly contributions, you can check out my CV. I think I posted that. I added that to my profile on LinkedIn, so I'm going to add my LinkedIn page in the description below. So I've been blessed with so much, several awards and recognition, and those awards include the outstanding PhD students that I got from the College of Human Sciences here in Oklahoma State, and I also got an award for excellence in mentoring undergraduates in research, and that was pretty big for me as well. And one of the big ones for me was when I was selected as a top 5 young minority investigator by the national body of the Nutrition Society, which we call the American Society of Nutrition. So that was pretty big for me too in 2016. And also here in OSU, I was also selected as a graduate college ambassador, which means we have this group of people who kind of help out with events that the graduate college holds. That could include open house events for recruiting new graduate students, or events that help to further train graduate students in various skills. A lot of other events as well. So I've been privileged to be part of that group, and I've learned so much in that group as well, which is part of the experience that I am going to use in this video to educate you about what you need to do to get admitted into any college in the United States. So I just talked about the positives that I have experienced. So let's talk about the negatives. Like I said earlier, the negatives are so small because I usually don't look at negatives as something really bad. It's just an opportunity to improve. And even though I've seen those negatives, I've learned to overcome them. And some of them include, in research, when you are doing graduate studies, you are more likely to conduct research. That means you're working with an advisor and you're doing a lot of research. So what I find sometimes frustrating, is that it never seems to end. So you just keep on doing research, a lot of research, and research never seems to end. And because of that, you might, if you're not careful, you might experience some burnout at some point in time. But how to navigate that is to make sure that before you enter graduate college, before you apply at all, you make sure you identify what you are really excited about, because you don't want to come do research in an area you are not so much interested in. Okay, so if you are excited about what you're doing, then when those challenging times come, you would find a way to pull through. But if you are doing what you don't like, and if the research does not seem to end, if it keeps on coming, you might get discouraged over time. So research does not seem to end. So make sure you actually study what you are very much excited to do. And also, one of the ways I have coped with that is to intentionally give yourself a break. Intentionally. Because if you're not careful, you just keep on working. You keep on working. The work will never end. So what you can do to help yourself is to give yourself a little break. So what I usually do for me is to leave one. Most of my Sundays are basically for me to relax. No calls, nothing, no lab work. I try to keep with that schedule, but sometimes you just have to work. But for the most part, I try to rest, at least on a Sunday. So when you eventually get into a graduate program, please make sure you give yourself some rest as well. So lastly today, what I want to do is share with you why I started this channel. So over the years since I got here in 2014, I've received several questions on how I got started, okay? And I've had to, repetitively answer people, the same answers to several people. Some people follow through the explanations I give, like the stepwise explanations I give. Some will not. So it has been very frustrating. But so far, I've been very impressed that at least 4 people I have been privileged to mentor 4 people from start to finish in this process, who are currently here in the United States studying. fully funded in their graduate programs. And I've also, assisted or advised several people who have ended up going to other universities as well, even outside the United States as well. So I've been very happy about that, I have been able to contribute to some people's lives. And currently I'm actually working with some two um, students as well, who are very bright students, and I'm kind of confident that if in this journey together they are going to pull through and get admitted and funded as well. So right now I still get a lot of questions on how do I go about this, how do I do this, how do I do that. So I kind of got tired of continually answering these questions. So I decided to create a channel and make a series of videos on the various steps that it takes to get admitted, to get yourself set up for funding, and even sometimes I might, if you're outside the United States, I can give you some tips on. I would be providing tips on this channel on how to successfully navigate the visa interview process. That's a secret. So I don't want to keep doing this. That's why I essentially started this channel. So when I was thinking about this idea, I actually wanted to make this a course so that only serious-minded people would buy. Like I said, I've explained this many times to several people, and most of the time people don't follow through because, to be frank, the process takes a lot of persistency. Okay, you have to be consistent and you have to be strong. Sometimes you might hear some no's along the way, but you won't let that deter you, but continue to strive to get what you want. So in some cases, some people fall by the wayside, but some strong people have completed the process, and like I said, they are right here studying in the United States. So I thought about making this into a course, but I realized not even some of the people that need it might not be able to pay for it. So and since I've been so blessed to be here in the United States with the help of people who gave me the information for free, so I'm like, why not give out this information to as many people I can reach, for free as well. So that's why I started this channel. So that's what I'll essentially be doing on this channel, everything related to graduate studies in the United States. How to get started, how to identify your interests, how to search for where you can actually find your interests, a university that aligns with your interests, how you can approach them, how to effectively approach them, not just approaching them, how to approach them for funding, and how essentially every other process that surrounds graduate admission and travel to the United States. So that's what I'm going to be doing on this channel. So again, I just want to give back as many people that I can reach. So that's it for today. Today I've talked about my educational and family background. I've talked about how I got started, my journey in the graduate degree program that I am so now, and the environment that I am right now. I've talked to you about the positives and the negatives and how to navigate some of those negatives. And also I've explained why I started this channel. So if you have any questions, please write them in the comment section. Please like the video and don't forget to share and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss future uploads. Now my next video actually will be explaining why you need to go to grad school, why grad school is important in the current climate of the job market, and also how to identify your interest if you don't have one yet, and also how to find a school that aligns with your interests. So those are the next videos that I'm going to make. So don't forget to subscribe and like this video, and also share with your friends. Please don't be selfish. Share with your friends that might need the information in this channel. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye.